مساء Menahot Daf Lamed Dalet Amud Aleph, 4 lines down. Itmar. Lu Patuach Min Abayit La'aliyah. In the case if you have a stairway that's open from the ground floor to the second floor. Marav Ravun says Im yesh lo petach echad hayav. If there's one entrance, you need a mezuzah hat. Im yesh lo shnei petachim hayav b'shnei mezuzot. If you have two entrances, you need two mezuzot. Mar Parapa says Shema Minab Nirab Huna. We see from Rav Huna. Hi in the Rana Teitlu Arba'a Babe. The chamber that has four separate gateways. Hayav Bab Mezuzot. He would require four different mezuzot. Commercial pizza. Of course. Why wouldn't you think so? Commercial tzricha. No. Teach you even afal gab deragil bahar. Even if one person is even if the person or the normal way of entering is through one of them, you still need all four. Mar memar. Hapitha da akarna. A corner entrance, meaning if you have instead of having a four corner building like most buildings are, there's a angled entrance in the corner of the building. But there's no side posts. Where it says, there are side posts, meaning the sides of the corner of the entrances the are considered the side posts. All right, brain just shut down there. Papa Mar Shmuel. You went to visit him. How have we put He saw an entrance that only had a side post, which was on the left side. He said, Kiman Meir. We were doing like Meir, who says that you only need one. Meir said only one by a right side side post. Miss Mummi Amar, he can't do it on the left side. Versus Mahi, why you know this? Then it says Betecha, your house. Bi'atecha, because it teaches you that when you come in on the right, who says right means left? Betecha, your house. And therefore, my time would I know that from the word Betecha. Because because the way of coming in, which means you're walking on the right side, when a person starts to move, when he takes his first step, he moves his right leg first. Rav Shmuel bar Aha commended Papa Mashmed Rav bar Ula Amar Me'acha different proof. Ve'ikach Yehuda Kohen Aaron Ehad ve'ikor hod bedalto. Yehuda the Kohen took a chest and he bored and he made a hole in the lid. Ve'iten oto etzal mezbeach yamin v'va asher each bet Hashem b'mezbeach on the right side. Minatnu Shama HaKohanim Shomrei Asaf et kol hakasim v'mva bet Hashem. Over there they put the money that was placed for Hashem. So Ma'ir b'mer. Right, so that's his proof that when bite means right. Okay, so now what's the mayor? It says that one's okay. Time it says Beshem bite she'en el patzim ehad. The house only has one side post. Rabbi Meir hayab zinzar b'hayim hayam zinzar v'hamim maturim b'hayim bator. Right, and then Rabban Hakim Rabhamim Rabbi bator mizoti because it says in the pasuk mizot, which sounds plural. Might have the why did Meir say it's chayav? Time it says mizuzot. It says it without the vav. So sorry, it says it plural with his shtaim. Therefore, I think the minimum amount of doorposts is two. Now, when it says again mizuzot plural, you don't need the Torah to say that. That's including after including. Therefore, it must be coming to exclude. They only need one. Says, you can only learn from there. Pasuk already says. Torah says by the Quran, Pesach, you should put it on the top, the lintel, and the two side posts. She'et the marsh you don't have to say two, because it already says doorposts, which is two. Matthew marsh says why is it two? Zebana teaches you general concept. Whenever it says mizot, you know the first two one. Actually, until the Torah says two. So it's over here. That's why Meir would hold it. When it says mizot means one. Remember that. Write them mizot. I think you could even write it on the stone by the doorway. However, we learn from the word a get, writing. Malan al sefer just like over there on a scroll. Afkan al sefer mizuzah scroll. Okay, we can learn it elsewhere. By mizuzah says word writing, and by the writing the sefer Torah on stones, the enter Eretz Israel by Yeshua. It also says writing. So maybe. Which is like over there could be a stone, so maybe over here else could be a stone. Let's compare which one to which. Which one makes more sense to compare? We'll compare something that applies to all generations like a mizah from something that also applies to all generations like a get. We can't compare mizah, which is all generations, something that happened one time, which was writing the uh, Sefer Torah on a stone. וכמו שנאמר then also, we see later on, יאמר להם ברוך מפיו ויקרא אליי את כל הדברים האלה, ואני כותב על ספר בדיו. Right, so we see from this pasuk that we need a black ink on scroll from mezuzah and get. Okay, אמר לרב אחם בעד רב הלאה באשי, ואחמן אמר המזוזות. Torah says plural mezuzot. ואת אמרת נלף כתיבה כתיבה, and then you want to say that we should learn גזירה שווה, right? It sounds like doorpost itself. Why would you learn Gzera Shava? The Gemara says, Amakra Ukhtatam Ktiva Tama. When it says Ukhtatam, it sounds like a complete writing. Bahadam Zurat then he says on the put in the doorpost. So writing it elsewhere, then put in the doorpost. ومع Tiva Tam Hai Gzera Shava. Let me see that's the case. Why do you need Gzera Shava? The Gemara says, Ilav Gzera Shava Havamina Lataba Avana B'Dekaya Asiva. If it wasn't for Gzera Shava, you might think you could write them on a stone and put the stone on the doorpost. Gemara therefore need a scroll. Gzera Shava teaches you to scroll. The four passages of Tefillin are required for each other. And even one of them, one letter is essential. If one letter makes everything asur, pasul, wife teaches us the Gemara even if the yod point, the tip on top is missing, it's also pasul. We already know that. Teaching for a different Hiddush Rabbi Yehuda. Tamar Rabbi Yehuda Marav, call out. Any letter that's not surrounded by complete parchment, pistulat pasul, right? So it has to be completely by itself without touching anything else. The Totafot. Pasuk says the word Totafot three times, twice without a vav and one time with a vav. Harekin arba. So we see if we're reading it just without the pronunciation, with the way it's written, Totafot without the vav is one. So there's twice, that's two, and then the one with the vav is two by itself. Therefore, we have four compartments. The Rabbi Akiva says, no, Amar, he says, no, I don't need that way because why? Tat bekat time and pat ba'afriki time. The word totavot comes from the word tat and pat, and those are two different regions, two different languages means two each. That's how we know four. Maybe you might think you write on four separate hides. You put in separate four boxes, with separate four hides. Remember the pasuk says, "Zikron ben enecha." Zikron echad emerti lecha. You should have one single thing on your head. Below shnai so not two or three. I guess it has a possible. You write it on four separate hides. And you place them into the mold of a single four-pieced compartment like we have nowadays. But if you wrote it all on one hide, then you put it in separate four compartments. Here you go. A space in between them. David Rabbi Yitzchak Rabbi Fahmim say, and so you can only the space. They agree. Everybody agreed that you need to put a string or a cord between every compartment just for separation. And if you can't tell those lines, the grooves on top of the compartments is not easily discernible, that's be obviously separate. How you write the tefillin? Tefillah Shliyat Kotva Orechad, the all four parashot of the arm tefillin is written on a single piece of hide. V'im Ketva Arba Orot B'Necham B'Vatahad. If you did four into a single compartment, Yetzay Yotzeh. The back way to combine them together, to sew them together, or gluing them together. Shenamar Pasuk says Ve'ayah Le'ot Lecha Le'ot Eidecha, a sign. Kshem Sha'ot Aham Be'Hosh, there's one single sign on the outside, yani one tefillin. Kach Ot Aham between the one sign and inside one cloth. You don't have to combine it, it's fine. He one time admitted to me, a person's not arm tefillin, he has two head tefillins, you should put a single piece of hide over the head tefillin to make it look like a one piece. Put on your arm. What do you mean he agrees? Whether or not allowed to do that. No. But we see from Biosi that Rabbi Yehuda retracted and said that it's okay. One second, you could have seen for arm tefillin. Send a message. Yeah, arm tefillin can become head tefillin. Head cannot be arm. Because you cannot lower the level of kedusha from a higher level to lower kedusha. And since head has a higher level, you can't put an arm. So how do you see that? Gemara says lakasha. Haba aktita. One thing you're not allowed to do is with use tefillin. Haba harta, but never used before. You are kind of dictating the level of kedusha you're having now. According to the opinion that holds that when you're designating something, when you're preparing something for a certain purpose, it is significant. The atmi lava igara, and therefore technically when you're making the tefillin to begin with, if you had it in mind that you're making head tefillin, then you can't use it for the arm tefillin. When's it allowed is when you specifically made a condition before that you would potentially use it for arm. What's the order of the four parashiot? The first one is Kadashli Be'akivecha Memin, those two parshas on the right side of the tefillin, Shema and Shema Bayam Shema small me small on the left side. We have the opposite. Learn the opposite. Number by no, Krishna Stira. Kam no Shakore. First Bartel one's on the right side is referring to the person who's reading it, Yani in front of him. Kam no Shel Maniach. In the second case, we're referring to the right side, is referring to when the guy's reading it, right? So the guy's wearing it. So it depends which are you facing it or is it on you? Now, when reading the Baratot, he's reading it in order of the Torah. Marav Hanana Marav Hechali Parshitab Bizlot. If they change the order of the Tefillin Parshiot, it is Pasul. Mar Beba says La Amran, that only applies. Ella Gavsel Baraita, when he did an inner parasha for an outer one. Yeah, and he did like Vahya Kviyacha, where it's supposed to be number two, he put in number one, and the Kadesh Li goes inner. Ubarata Gavata or vice versa. Valhavata Gavata, if you did an outer for an inner you only two and three. Ubarata Gavata and for four and one, that's about no problem. What's unique about the inner for the outer? Ubarata Gavata an inner for an outer for inner. They know that it's not kasher. Because it's supposed to see empty space, and nothing next to it. And now it doesn't see it. Now whatever wasn't supposed to see it, now it does see it. Baraita lebaraita gabak nami. So that's the case. The outer one that was changed for the outer one, and the inner one that's changed for another inner one. Hach debai the machsa avira dimin. Whatever was supposed to be seeing on that technically was supposed to be on the right side or the left side where it was supposed to be. Kahazi avira the small kahazi avira dimin ela lashna. Right? He says I don't like that thing that you're able to say. You're switching the outer for the outer, the all the way to number one and number four is different. Number one supposed to have a space, nothing on the right. Now it is empty on the left. And the inner ones as well, same exact issue as well. Therefore, he says it's pasul either way. Either way, you switch it up.